Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talks. Here it is, as predicted. They're trying to bring in this UBI. Here we see on the 15th of June, tabled for discussion, universal basic income for the UK government. The potential merits of universal basic income, it says here. Now, I've been talking about this for over a year, how this was part of the plan, along with a central bank digital currency, a cashless system, digital ID, jib jab pass, which of course the government are still advertising jobs for, a social credit system, all of this. And now you are seeing how they're trying to bring these in over time. It's all constructed. The rising prices, the energy prices going up, the hysterics then by the media shills like Martin Lewis for the fake stream media, the UK government now doing weekly meeting TV appearances on the poverty crisis, a crisis that they have manufactured, weekly press meetings so they can attempt to try and bring all of this about. And they will use this excuse to bring in the UBI, which is part of the Great Reset, a Great Reset that the fake stream media like the BBC was saying a year and a half ago was a conspiracy theory. So look, I've said it before, the UBI is a trap. It's another element for complete control over you and your money. Look at this advert from HSBC, a billboard advert I see shared on social media today. It says, when an abuser controls your finances, they control you. Economic abuse occurs 95% of domestic situations. All of our branches are safe places, HSBC say. Okay, so they are talking about relationships, but this could be, it's predictive programming, because that's the situation you will be. That's the relationship you will end up having with the government if they manage to bring in the UBI and the digital currency. The government's very own digital currency, okay, which will be programmable. When they control your finances, the government will control you. And I've done loads of videos on this before, so I'm just going to play a video I did recently about how the UBI is a trap. Okay, check this out if you haven't already seen it. Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talks. So today, let's talk about universal basic income. But before I get going, if you agree with what I'm talking about in these videos that I make, give them a share, spread them about so that it might pick up some new viewers, as the algorithms are not going to be helping me anytime soon. Now, I've talked about this UBI before in previous videos, and this subject has been introduced more and more in the fake stream media over the last 2 years. I believe the first video I did about it a year and a half ago was in relation to the leaked letter about a roadmap to the Great Reset, allegedly leaked from a Canadian MP, which the fact checkers claim is fake. The fact checker police, which if they get involved, piques my curiosity. And many of the details of that roadmap happen to come true. One that didn't was the introduction of universal basic income, but it's not for the lack of trying, and it's clearly part of the plan. Here we see the World Economic Forum, who of course love the idea of a universal basic income. Here we see universal basic income is the answer to the inequalities exposed by COVID-19. Now, this was back in 2020. Now, just in case you don't know, UBI, Universal Basic Income, is a sum of money that is given to everyone in the country, rich and poor, everyone, which guarantees a standard amount to every citizen, which some people, if they hear this, they might say, well, that's all right, that sounds good. Well, no, I don't believe so. This is very much part of the whole New World Order plan. It seems to me that the plan is to bring this in contingency with a central bank digital currency and a cashless system. The UBI is just another part of the plan, okay? A digital ID, a passport, 24/7 surveillance, monitoring you, your energy usage, a social credit system, controlling and modifying your behavior and your choices. The universal basic income is going to be part of that system. And they're going to try and sell this to you in a pleasant way. They will say, hey, this is free money. Hey, this will give you security. This is security for all. Hey, this means you won't have to do that horrible job anymore, and it will free up your time. This is going to create a utopian society and eliminate poverty. That's what they'll say. That's how they will sell it to you. But what it really is they are buying your freedom. You would be forsaking your independence and therefore making you completely dependent upon the state. These World Economic Forums and NGOs have already stated that they believe billions of people in the world are going to be out of work due to automation, robots doing their jobs. They don't need people anymore, so they believe. So it's not about freedom. They plan on putting billions of people out of work, giving your job to an automated robot, and give you UBI so you can still live, okay? But your life will be dependent on them. Do you not think they're going to exploit this? As I've said before, it's a digital trap. The smartphones, the barcodes, the passports that they want you to scan to go in and out of buildings and events, the cashless society, and the UBI is to make you a digital slave to them. Here's a clip of Elon Musk, who pretends to be on the people's side. Oh, he's bought Twitter shares. He's one of us. He's gonna make it a free speech platform. He's not. Dream on. This guy wants to automate the world. He wants robots doing everything and stick a microchip into your brain to turn you into a flipping robot. Here's the clip.
There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income. I think it's going to be necessary.
So it means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe.
Yeah.
Because there is no job, machine, robot is taking over.
That's simply and I want to be clear that these are not things that I wish would happen. These are simply things that I think probably will happen. And if my assessment is correct and they probably will happen, then we need to say, what are we going to do about it? And I think some kind of a universal basic income is going to be necessary.
So that clip was from 2017. Now, did you hear what he said? Again, it beautifully illustrates how these people are, completely disingenuous and hypocritical. He says, let me be clear, it's not what I wish to happen, but it's what I think will happen. Ah, bless him. He says he doesn't want to put people out of work. Well, he's not going the right way about it. He does nothing but invest in automation and robots and driverless trucks. I mean, look at this here. Elon Musk is building a humanoid robot so people won't have to do boring and repetitive tasks. He's a liar. He wants to put people out of jobs. He's a clown's pocket. It's very simple. If these people gave a shite about the public, all right, these governments, just create a new law. Ban the use of robots that take away someone's job. Simple. If technology makes a person unemployed in a job, then make it illegal. You can't do it. You know, obviously there would be cases that maybe you could override that law. But, you know, if automation is going to put billions of people out of work, why do it? Well, it seems because they don't care about the people. Here's a clip from GB News, fake stream media platform, no different from the BBC or Sky, all part of the system. This was from yesterday, a Labour councillor on the show talking about how a universal basic income would be great. GB News have put out quite a lot of stuff about universal basic income over the last month, so let's take a look and see what he says.
Joy, thank you very much. Well, look, first things first, shall we have a universal basic income?
I think we should. I think it would counter a lot of the problems that we're facing at the moment. I mean, we're in the middle not just of a crisis in standards of living, but also in a crisis of growth in our economy. And I think a basic income or direct payments would help counter some of the problems we have in both of those.
Yes, but this is a self-inflicted, manufactured financial crisis, okay? And it's been done to crash the system. That's what the Great Reset is all about, so that you can bring in a cashless system and this UBI at some point. It's the same old story, the Hegelian Dialect. You cause a problem, create a reaction, offer a solution. So the presenter asks, why give money to everyone, including the very rich? And this is what he says.
Because I think the country is at its best when it believes in universalism and that everybody is brought into a system of change.
Everyone has to be brought into a system of change. You know, this will be tied to the digital currency.
Everybody is brought into a system of change. We saw that with the NHS. You know, not everybody uses it for their operation, but everybody understands why it's important because everybody in the country collectively pays for it and has bought in for it. And I think it's the same for UBI. It's a liberalising idea that actually is about freeing people up to live the lives that they want to live.
Okay, so there you go. That's what they will use to sell it to you. You hear this a lot. It's giving you freedom. It's freeing you up to live the life you want to live. No, it's the opposite. It's making you dependent on the state. So for example, let me give you an example. Before, okay, you were in a job, all right? You went to work, you got paid, you had an employer. Maybe that employer was an asshole and treated you badly. Well, you have the option. You could quit that job and go and find another job. And maybe that employer will be better and the job will be better. Now, in this crappy futuristic UBI scenario, where these organizations, they've already openly talked about billions of people who are going to be put out of work due to automation. In this new scenario, it's very likely there will be very few jobs and your sole income, your money will be coming from the government and they will effectively now be your employer. Now, if they want to treat you like an arsehole and threaten you with the sack or cutting your money or taking it away, you won't have the option of quitting and finding another employer like you did before, because in this new world, there will be very few jobs because of all of this automation. So the government will have you completely under the thumb. You will do what they say. They will have complete control over you because you're dependent on their digital tokens. How is that going to be freedom? Yet that is how they will try and sell it to you. And at the moment, they are creating an environment of rising prices, inflation, rising energy bills to crash the system so they can introduce this as a solution.
It's about freeing people up to live the lives that they want to live, to give them the ability to be crisis proof, the ability to take risks in life. And actually, if you do believe in sort of individualism and freedom, this is the idea that you want, because it's not actually about the state dictating how you spend your money. It's about saying actually that you, as a citizen in the country, understand how to spend money best for yourself and your family.
He says it's not about the state dictating how you spend your money. Is that so? The Bank of London have already said they are looking at making a central bank digital currency programmable, meaning digital money can be given and designed with inbuilt rules that constrain the user. These rules could mean that money expires after a fixed date or its use is restricted to a certain set of goods. So the state are actively pursuing that option of dictating what, where and how you spend your digital money. And if it gets into that situation, who are you going to complain to? The state, who are the ones who are giving you the money that pays for your existence? Because that's how the situation will evolve if people now don't get wise to it.
Of course, I hope they do. This isn't a substitute for work in the main. It's a way to protect good quality jobs, to give people an option on top of their wage.
They say it's not a substitute for work. People can work and receive, knowing full well it's being brought in because they plan on there not being any jobs for millions of people in the UK in the future, and they want to have control over them by giving them digital invisible money every month so they can continue to comply with whatever else they are planning on bringing in, like maybe a one world government or maybe a one world religion. Universal basic income is a trap, another part of the trap that people need to be aware of. Many will see it as free money and jump at it. That's how a trap works. That's how you get a mouse to go into a trap. You entice it in with cheese. Here's another story from the USA, because this is going on everywhere, because it's part of the agenda. Palm Springs looks to create a universal basic income pilot for trans residents. It says here the Palm Springs City Council has approved funding for 2 local organizations to develop a universal basic income program for the California city's transgender and non-binary residents only. Yeah, now this is a weird one. First off, universal, it means available to everyone. How is that the case if it's only for trans and non-binary people? Secondly, how do you define who is non-binary? Does that mean all you have to do in Palm Springs to get this free money is just say, hey, I don't identify as a man or a woman, can I have my money please? It says here it could be $900 a month, all right? So to me, it sounds like a social experiment. And they will record and analyse how this works, maybe to see if people will pretend to be non-binary in order to get the free money. It's a strange one, but as you can see here, we are seeing this universal basic income being used to manipulate and to further an agenda that they want to encourage. Okay, that's all from me. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below on universal basic income. And if you think this video is of use, share it, try it and get it out and about around the internet so it might make someone think or question stuff, at least. As always, thanks for listening. Come and subscribe to the tribe at hugotalks.com and I'll see you later.